Hello, welcome to TTV News. Ladies and gentlemen, in the afternoon of January 15, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, and delegates from the People's Councils at both provincial and municipal levels has a meeting with voters in Ninh Thuận Ward, Tây City, after the 10 sections of the Provincial People's Council for the term of 2021-2026.
At the meeting, delegates of the Provincial People's Council announced to voters the results of the 10th session of the Provincial People's Council for the 2021-2026 term. Many issues of concern to voters were also raised by the delegates for the Provincial People's Committee and functional agencies to explain, clarify, and contribute to supplementing and perfecting tasks and solutions on socio-economic development and state management on the views and give comments to complete the content of draft resolutions before the Provincial People's Council decides. Also at this meeting, delegates of the Provincial People's Council informed voters of Ninh Thuận Ward about the results of resolving voters' opinions and recommendations in the previous meeting regarding the issuance of identification citizen cards. Issue and activate electronic identification cards for citizens who still have incorrect information updated. This content was received by representatives of the People's Council at two levels and transferred to the police agency for timely resolution. In the afternoon of January 15, Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, standing Vice Chairwoman of the Provincial People's Council and delegates of the People's Council of Province and Hoa Thanh Thao, had a meeting with voters in Trường Tây Kham Muộn. After listening to the representatives of the People's Council at two levels, announced the results of the 10th session of the Provincial People's Council and the 9th session of the Thao People's Council, socio-economic development results and achievements of province and Hoa Thanh Thao in 2023, respond to voters' opinions and recommendations in the reverse context. Voters in Trường Tây Kham Muộn expressed their excitement at the results achieved in various fields of the province and Hoa Thanh Thao in recent times. On January 15, in TTVNEWS Kham Muộn, Ms. Nguyễn Thị Yến Mai, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, head of the Provincial Party Committee's organizing department, and a group of delegates from the Provincial and District People's Councils had a meeting with voters in Long Vĩnh and TTVNEWS Kham Muộn after the session. At the meeting, voters proposed to the Provincial and District People's Council delegates issues related to roads being repaired, but the difficulties were not overcome. Many households left objects that obstructed visibility for drivers, potentially causing traffic accidents. Voters also recommended that the authorities should install clean water system for people, operate the An Bình Ninh Điền ferry routes, and continue watching the drainage system. Voters' opinions and recommendations were received and explained by local authorities and district authorities right at the meeting. For recommendations that go beyond their authority, delegates nudged them to forward them to the authorities for consideration and reply to voters at the next contact. In the morning of January 15, in Hòa Hiệp Kham Muộn, Tân Biên District People's Committee held a preliminary conference to summarize 5 years of implementing on People's Protest Day for the period of 2019-2024. After 5 years, departments, branches, unions, party committees, local authorities, armed forces, and people of Tân Biên District have been increasingly more fully aware of the purpose, meaning, importance. At the same time, promoting the combined strength of the great national unity bloc in protecting territorial sovereignty and national border security. On levels and sectors in the district, always proactively coordinate with the Portugal to have many policies and solutions to improve the quality and effectiveness of the fight against all types of crime and maintain security and order from the border area. At the conference, delegates focused on analyzing and clarifying the shortcomings and limitations in implementing on People's Protest Day and proposed tasks and solutions to improve operational efficiency in the next period.
Turn to other news, the trade unions of TayNinhTV Provincial Economic Zone had just organized a program to give Days Reunion 2024 to workers in difficult circumstances Attending the program, there was Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, Nguyễn Thành Tâm.
The program awarded 130 gifts to workers in difficult circumstances and suffering from labor accidents at worth 1 million Vietnam dong, with a total cost of 130 million Vietnam dong, awarded 1,147 bus tickets to workers away from home to celebrate death with their families, with a total value of nearly 520 million Vietnam dong. In addition to union funding, the program has received support and companionship from business units inside and outside the province, with the design to share so that union members and disadvantaged workers can have a warmer day. Speaking at the program, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council Nguyễn Thành Tâm appreciated the efforts of all levels of trade unions, including the Union of the Provincial Economic Zone and the companionship of businesses. The industry has had many activities to take care of workers in recent times, especially meaningful activities during death and spring. On January 15, the Provincial Interdisciplinary Food Hygiene and Safety Inspection Team inspected a number of food production and commodity trading establishments in Châu Thành District. At Bách Hóa Xanh store in Quarter 2 Châu Thành Town, the delegation randomly checked some products being sold. At the same time, the group also took samples of chili sauce products to send for testing for additives and preservatives. Through physical inspection, the imported foods sold at the store have clear origin. The foods were quickly tested and did not detect Tinapro and other additives on the list that are not allowed to be used. The food processing area is guaranteed to be hygienic and clean. The delegation also reminded establishments to regularly check the expiration dates of goods and foods being traded. The delegation also inspected Duyên Xuân business location, specializing in providing frozen foods in Tibin Camille Châu Thành District. Here, the team traced the facility's certificate of meeting food safety and hygiene conditions and health conditions. However, at the time of the inspection team, the facility had not provided complete invoice and documents for one item. The delegation requested the facility to quickly overcome the shortcomings. In the afternoon of January 12, a briefing session on interesting activities between the Bank for Social Policies and Social Political Organizations in the fourth quarter of the year. In the fourth quarter of 2023 was taken place at the headquarters of the Bank for Social Policies of the Nam Province. In the fourth quarter and the whole year of 2023, the Provincial Branch Bank for Social Policies and interesting social political organizations have coordinated to successfully complete the set tasks, including successfully completing a number of targets for 2023. The bank and interesting social political organizations propose a number of tasks and solutions to disperse the assigned credit plan targets in early 2024. It contributed to the implementation of national target programs on sustainable poverty reduction, building new rural areas and socio-economic development of ethnic minority areas in the period of 2021-2025. In order to ensure good health care for people during death, the Provincial People's Committee requested the Department of Health to direct hospital to well-organized medical examination and treatment for 24 per 24 hours during the upcoming Lunar New Year 2024. Accordingly, medical facilities in the province need to have plans to repair human resources, enough drugs, blood, infusion supplies, chemicals, equipment, to arrange sick beds and facilities ready to respond, serving treatment and emergency, especially traffic accidents, fires, explosions, injuries, food poisoning and treatment of people with infectious diseases during death.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of January 15, at the National Assembly House, General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng attended the solemn opening ceremony of the 5th extraordinary sessions of the 15th National Assembly. The meeting considered and approved many important contents. Immediately after the opening speech of the National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ, the National Assembly discussed in the halls a number of new contents or differing opinions in the amended draft land law.
After the opening speech of National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ, the National Assembly discussed in the House a number of new contents or differing opinions in the amended draft land law. Speaking at the House, most delegates appreciated the reception and revision of the contents of the draft law to facilitate application and implementation in practice. The method of land valuation continues to be a topic that many delegates are interested in and give their opinions. In particular, delegates propose not to regulate the surplus method in land valuation because the land valuation results when applying the surplus method are made on the basis of assumptions and estimates. The level of reliability is not high. Regarding the rights of land user, delegates said that the draft law stimulates general rights to use land and separate and specific rights in specific cases. However, it has not really been clarified how limited the rights of land user are, because according to Article 3, a land plot is the land area limited by the boundary that describes the name of the cadastral record or is determined on the ground. In reality, most boundaries are only determined horizontally, while actual vertical boundaries also exist on paper and are mostly not marked in the field. Meanwhile, according to Article 175, the Civil Code stipulates that land users are allowed to use the space and underground space vertically from the boundary of the land plot in accordance with the provisions of law. To create a legal basis for the rights of land users as basis. To create a legal basis for the rights of land users as a basis for granting land use right certificates according to land stature, valuing land use fees under the surface based on the general applications of land users in Clause 1, Article 31 of the draft law, and characterizing the surface rights reprised by the Civil Code, and at the same time with Clause 2, Article 116 of the draft law on the right to transfer and lease underground space. It is proposed that Article 26 of the draft law add the same clause on the rights of land users. Accordingly, land users has the right to use the space above the land surface and the land below that surface in a reasonable manner for lawful use according to the government's regulations. According to the agenda, on the same afternoon, the National Assembly discussed some new contents or differing opinions in the amended draft law on rated institutions.
The Audit on Human Resources Development is one of the 7 breakthrough goals set out in the implementation of TayNinhTV province plans for the periods of 2021-2030 with a vision to 2050. In particular, the development of human resources in the public sector and vocational education plays an important role, creating a breakthrough in promoting rapid and sustainable socio-economic development.
According to the provincial plan for the period of 2021-2030, with a vision to 2050, human resource development is one of 7 clearly indicated breakthroughs. In particular, focusing on developing and improving the quality of human resources, especially in the fields of health, education, tourism, and agriculture. Through review, TayNinhTV currently lacks human resources and needs to attract human resources in sectors such as general doctors, specialists, preschool teachers, primary school teachers, and some sectors in the agricultural sector, tourism, science and technology, public management, public policy. From the results of the review, the development and implementation of the projects developing high-quality public sector human resources in TayNinhTV. For the period of 2022-2025, orientation to 2030, to create a source of highly qualified career civil servants and public employees capable of advising the party and state in strategic planning and proposing solutions, to exploit on potential, mobilize on resources, promote socio-economic development of the province in the coming time. To develop high-quality human resources in the public sector, creating a long-term sustainable source of civil service, the project also sets out a number of targets. Specifically, in the period from now to 2025, we will train 1 to 2 doctorates, domestic training with foreign links, as well as foreign training of 100 masters and domestic training of 200 masters. Based on that target, the Department of Home Affairs has coordinated with departments, branches, and people's committees of districts and cities to review the needs of missing sectors and fields. Based on the synthesis of needs, the Department of Home Affairs will advise the Provincial People's Committee to issue a list for annual training. The Department of Home Affairs will coordinate with other industries to conduct, place orders, or propose cooperation with leading prestigious universities and institutes in the fields and occupations we lack so that we can train ourselves. Training and fostering costs for the province carry civil servants are paid from the province training budget. Tuition support and mandatory expenses depends on its cost and level being trained. Meanwhile, TayNinhTV Vocational College is a public vocational education facility directly under the People's Committee of TayNinhTV Province. In recent years, we have closely followed the party's guidelines and the state's policies on building and developing the workforce through training and vocational training. TayNinhTV Vocational College trains and provides technical human resources in the fields of science and technology, information technology, economics, and services for businesses inside and outside the province. Accordingly, in the human resource development solutions, according to the TayNinhTV Provincial Plan for the period of 2021-2030, Vision to 2050 clearly states: improve the quality of forecasting on labor supply and demand, and training capacity for training facilities in the province. Mobilize diversely and effectively use resources for training and vocational training. Strengthen cooperation and linkage in training, linking training with the use of human resources. Ensure openness and transparency in human resource recruitment. Effectively use existing human resources and attract talent. Promote socialization of training, encourage on economic sectors to invest in training and vocational development. Apply a training model based on the mechanism of sharing training costs between schools and businesses. It can be seen that TayNinhTV Province is constantly determined to build new statuses, attract high-quality human resources, encourage talented people to come to the province to work, as well as constantly improve the quality of teaching and learning, and improve the quality of human resources. To serve the country's development and the province's strong development. TayNinhTV Provincial Social Insurance said that when it stops printing paper health insurance, the Provincial Social Insurance will extend the value of the health insurance card on the data system, and participants will continue to use the health insurance card which were previously issued, or citizen identification cards to resent as going for medical examination and treatment with health insurance. In addition, for a class of people with Level 2 electronic identification, they can use the health insurance card integrated on the VNEID application to go for medical examination and treatment under health insurance. In fact, using health insurance cards on the VSSID application or VNEID application in recent years has brought many benefits to both health insurance participants, medical examination and treatment facilities, and management agencies. In the past, people often worry about losing paper health insurance cards. Expired health insurance cards are having to bring other identification documents for verification in case there was no photo on the health insurance card. So when going for medical examination or treatment, people only need to present their electronic health insurance card as logging into the VSSID application or VNEID application. to ensure the legal rights of citizens in carrying out administrative procedures and civil transactions in the digital age, contributing to building an e-government to serve the interests and create the most favorable conditions to the people. Social insurance of the province will continue to promote propaganda of applications on mobile platforms so that people can perform public services conveniently and easily, gradually replacing the paper health insurance card.
That's all for today TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.